And now, News 2 Sports Overtime.
How else would you want to start your week than grown men bawling their eyes out? It's for good reasons, though. Goodbye to one longtime Stingray. A former CFC Cougar doing something that hasn't been done in over 50 years. MLB history at Wrigley. That's coming your way next. Good evening, everyone. I'm Logan Reever, and you're watching News 2 Sports Overtime. As we sit here on a calm, relaxing Sunday night, it's fair to say the hockey playoffs bring us the fix of the other side of the spectrum: intense, emotional, and raw. Well, for the Stingrays, they were just looking to keep those feelings and thrills alive and well as their season was on the line last night at the Coliseum. It is our leadoff.
The leadoff is sponsored by Universal Marble.
When South Carolina snagged Game 1 of the first-round series down in Florida, I think the last thing we thought is that this team would be looking to avoid dropping 3 in a row and elimination on their home ice. But that is the monster that is the playoffs. As unpredictable, I should say, as it is long, and the Rays looking to prolong this thing in Game 5. The Solar Bears jumping ahead in the series 3-1 and jumped ahead 2-0 after the first period. But 13 seconds into the second, Kevin McKernan able to put it home, and they are right back in it. Fired up, trying to change the momentum of not only this game, but this whole series. Solar Bears would answer, though, later in the period. Troy Burke wraps it around Parker Milner as Orlando jumps back up by 2. But the Rays would get on the power play towards the end of the period, and what looks like a missed call at first turns into a Grant Bessie goal anyway. Back and forth we go, and the little man's like, come on, bring it home now. Just looking for that one equalizer, but Orlando would just find a way to stifle the Rays' runs whenever the opportunities presented themselves. Not long after they jumped up by 2 goals, it would be a 4-2 game after an action-packed period, trying to overcome that deficit in the final minutes. Open net for the Solar Bears, and they take advantage. The turnover turns into the nail in the coffin, 5-2 as the season comes to an end. Players taking the time to thank their fans for the season that was. First season for Coach Spiros Anastas is over. Here's his evaluation of it.
Good learning experience for me, for sure. There's some challenges and some things that were unexpected for us through the season, but that's part of being in the ECHL and being able to adapt and make the right adjustments as a head coach in this league is what gets you to the dance. And ultimately we did get in, and I thought that was a pretty inspiring last couple weeks. But I enjoyed coaching these guys. They worked extremely hard. There's challenges and stuff that people don't know, and I'm proud of this room of guys for what they accomplished.
As the Stingrays season comes to an end, so does the career of one of the team's mainstays. In all likelihood, Patrick Gall. 7 years as a Ray and the unofficial owner of one of the best Twitter names in history at Meet Gall Sub. He came off the Coliseum ice in an emotional way as he started saying his goodbyes to his teammates and the organization. If you know Gall, you know he's a character. Lighthearted, always first to crack a joke, but in the postgame, he gave us a rare look at another side as his time with South Carolina comes to an end.
Kind of speechless. This place meant a lot to me. My dad always said to play every shift like your last. Finally got to my last one, so I was just making sure I hit everybody I could.
I mean, it's tough. Sorry. Met him 7 years ago, and it's been somebody that's just been the guy that everyone leans on all 7 years. Just proud to call him a friend. Just losing even sucks even more just for him.
Look, it's one thing for a grown man to cry, but it takes all sorts of powerful onions to make a hockey player even think about shedding a tear. Shows how much that guy meant to the organization and especially that locker room, as he went on to say what he'll miss most is the dumb conversations with his teammates. And I think we can all relate to the little moments in life and the impact they leave on us all, whether we realize it or not. And he definitely did. Congrats on a great career here, Patrick, and best of luck with whatever is next for you. All right, next is not only the hero in South Carolina this weekend, the state's own Dustin Johnson on top of the leaderboard heading into the final round at the Heritage this afternoon. DJ came into the day at 10 under, as you see, atop the leaderboard. You see his competition for most of the weekend up to this point, Shane Lowry. He stands as the leader at the 6th hole. He puts in the birdie to put him to 12 under, but he would dip below that by 2 shots to finish tied for 3rd on the day. But he would not dip as far as the guy Dustin. On 10, wished he brought some sort of wind maker to give it another ounce of strength as it falls just short. Then just 1 hole later, looks like it's gonna get there, but it gets a hold of the curb like a teenager with a permit. Not a fun time. Johnson feels the same sentiments. He drops all the way down to 28th as he shoots 6 over for the day. Matt Kuchar, a past winner here, trying to repeat the success once again on 17. He's a co-leader as this was for par, but no sir. He bogeys to shoot back down. CT Pan took advantage, tied for the lead on 16 with Kuchar, but he sinks this birdie to go to 12 under and take control. However, without much pressure, Kuchar on 18 at 10 under, looking to draw within a shot, and he does. He was the fan favorite, as you could tell. Pan still holding that 1-stroke lead into 18. A chance to birdie and really put a seal on it for all intents and purposes. And how does that not go in? Everywhere but in. He settles for par as he had to wait for others to finish before he could really celebrate. But when he finally did, he got news of his first career PGA Tour win, and right here says it all. CT Pan, the man of the day.
It's something when I was younger I always dreamed of, and watch Tiger playing growing up. I mean, it just means a lot to me to have a win, to have a W on PGA Tour. It means everything. It means the world to me, and that's why I came to the U.S. That's why I went to college to go through all those necessary steps to be here, and I'm just very, very happy that I finally did it.
At the beginning of the week, in honor of the major golf tournament here in the Carolinas, a born and raised North Carolina native, Webb Simpson, competing against South Carolina native Dustin Johnson in a friendly competition between the Carolinas. WSAV sports reporter Connor Delpreet captured the high-intensity competition for everyone to enjoy.
A good old-fashioned golf battle between Palmetto
Have any South Carolina?
and Tar Heel.
What about North Carolina?
Dustin Johnson, a South Carolina native, and Webb Simpson, North Carolina born and raised, pitted against each other in a skills competition.
It was just a fun little challenge for RBC, and me and Webb are good buddies. We grew up playing against each other in college.
All pleasantries aside, the #1 golfer in the world stepped up to the plate, trick shot in mind. No. Round 1 goes to DJ, but the kid from Raleigh wasn't going down without a fight. Simpson commanded the cornhole challenge, putting his Team RBC partner on the hot seat. Round 3, a putting competition for bragging rights and a new club cover. For every made shot, there were about 12 of these. Turns out, when ditching the fancy sticks for putt-putt, Simpson and Johnson play a bit closer to our level.
The putting, we just couldn't. I called in my caddy, we couldn't get it done.
Pros. They're just like you and me.
I think it's cool. I mean, when we're in competition, the fans can hardly see any interaction from us, and so we're out here and it's laid back. It's not official yet, so I think it's great.
When it was all said and done, Johnson lifted up the quote-unquote trophy. Simpson, meanwhile, already plotting his revenge.
If I beat him standing on Sunday, I'll be a lot happier about that than today. Even though today's fun, but I'll let him feel good about it for now.
See, there's hope for all you mini golf people out there. An absolutely bonkers game up in Clemson. Tigers trying to avoid what would be a shocking sweep to the Blue Devils. It looked like it would happen easily most of the afternoon. In the 5th inning, Duke would go up 8-2 here, but in the bottom half of the inning, stuff of legends. 8-4 game for Justin Hawkins. Gets more loose than a Richard Simmons workout video. Grand slam brings us right back to square one, and as you blink, it's an 8-8 game. But in the 9th, something had to give, and Matt Mervis, well, he was feeling charitable. A solo job puts Duke back in front, and that would be more than enough. 9-8 in the end. Clemson gets swept. Another week and another primetime opponent in Founders Park, but once again, the Gamecocks can't come out on the right end of it. They split the first 2 games with a top 10 squad in Texas A&M, but in the rubber match, the Aggies got timely hitting to eventually propel them to a series win. Parents block the kids' ears before you read this. South Carolina now 5-13 in SEC play. CFC trying to take the series at Northeastern, a 3-1 game in the 6th. Chris Graham to left, and look how close this boy is to getting robbed. Off the glove and over the fence. Timing is everything, kids. A 4-run lead for the Cougars into the 8th. Dupree Hart is going to chop one to third, but once again for the Huskies, they forget how to use the glove, and 2 runs are going to come in as a result of it. CFC takes 2 of 3 to improve that CAA record. A 3-game set in South Florida was not the best time for the Citadel as they get handed losses in all 3 outings while getting outscored by 16 runs over the 3-game span. They stay on the road for this next week as well, as they don't come play back at the Joe until April 30th versus Georgia. Although the Bucks weren't able to get a sweep themselves in UNC Asheville, they do take the series in what was highlighted in Game 1 with a late comeback that resulted in a 3-2 win. They will take on the Gamecocks in North Augusta on Tuesday. Tigers' magic in Augusta last week must have gone by the time the River Dogs got there for a series versus the Green Jackets. They're back home on Monday, as current Yankee Garen Sanchez is expected to have a rehab start, as well. So a little celeb sighting will be going down at the Joe tomorrow. If you are waiting on the moment our own Brianne Welch dressed from head to toe in camo, oh my friends, your wait is over. Hunt, hook, and cook preview right on deck.
And now the OT Spotlight, sponsored by Big Bear Roofing.
Coming up this week, something new we have been working on here at News 2, a new outdoor segment, Hunt, Hook, and Cook. In this segment, we'll take a look at the outdoor lifestyle here in the Low Country, from offshore fishing to the rivers to turkey hunting and so much more. Episode 1 is coming up this Thursday morning. Check out a preview of some of the things you can expect.
No, you don't have 1 fish.
Oh my gosh.
You've got 3.
Look at this.
No, you've got 4.
That was just
That was
terrible.
one heck of a cast there.
I don't want to say I'm
Hang on.
great at casting,
And you're
but
beating me? It's bigger than the other ones. It's bigger than your other ones. You live in the fishing mecca of the East Coast, if you ask me. 2-0.
I'm here to compete.
Luck be a lady, I'm telling you.
Got fish.
Got a fish?
Got fish.
Yeah.
Right.
Whenever you can find love be a lady and work it into fishing, it's a pretty good sign. If you have a good outdoor hunting, fishing, or cooking idea, feel free to email the News 2 sports team, either Brianne or myself. Could be a great catfish area where the best place is to find wild hogs, your recipe for venison sausage, or anything in between. Could even just be seeing Brianne again in camo. Who knows? We want to cover everything, the Low Country outdoor lifestyle. Rubber match of the series for the Braves in Cleveland. Second batter of the game, Josh Donaldson. That slap ain't coming back. Starting things off with a bang. And like that, it's 1-0 Braves. But the fireworks were far from done with this man. Next inning, 2 on. Bartender, he'll take your finest jack, please. Obliterated to left. And you got fans wondering if they should leave in the second inning. 5-0 game now. 4 ribbies for him. If you want to take a look at the scoreboard here, it's 6-0 in the third. Another crack, and this one finds a hole. 2 more Braves are going to score now. It's 8-0. Tribe fans trying to keep the faith till the end, but sorry, drum man, not even Nick Cannon could have pulled this one out for you. 11-5, your final. Both Battery wins so far this year have come in the comfort of their own home, aka MUSC Health Stadium. Now, there are always multiple reasons why anyone is a better version of themselves at home. You can wear your comfiest clothes, your Alexa knows your favorite playlist, or maybe it's simply that birds don't wake you up at the crack of dawn with a sound that you've wondered how any creature could possibly produce. Okay, that last one is probably just me. Well, for the soccer club here, they say it's the home crowd that provides a spark like no other.
We always want to give the results to the home fans. You know, we always give 100% at home. You know, I mean, we should always give 100%. I feel like at home you have the extra boost where you go like extra. So I feel good, and the team feels good. So I think we're going to give everything on Saturday.
Well, nobody told the bench, apparently. Like, get up and get a Red Bull or a Monster over there, guys. Liven up a little. Offense didn't need any sort of pick-me-up, though. It was BYOG. Bring your own goals. Jared Van Schaik walks into the party with a six-pack of it. Second half now, 64th minute. Check out this lovely feed from Kotaro Higashi to Arthur Basoa, who does the easy part with that much space. And when dudes are going for piggyback rides, you know that's a sign that things are going well. How about in the 73rd minute? Originally the miss after it hits the top of the goal, but like a good neighbor, it's Van Schaik again. Get another look from the side angle. Goalie is going to be a little bit preoccupied as Van Schaik sneaks it in like he's grabbing ice cream before dinner and puts that baby home. Battery win a fun one at MUSC, 3-1. You're going to want to stick around because how often does a former CFC player make MLB history? Taylor Clark's debut coming up.
Now, Carolina Connection, sponsored by Preferred Home Services.
What a whirlwind of a day yesterday was for former CFC Cougar Taylor Clarke. Not only does he get the call up to the big leagues with the Diamondbacks, but he just dusts off the old history books, folks, and he says, I'm about to etch my name into it. Clarke becomes the first player in 51 years to have a hit and also register a save in their MLB debut. All of this in the team's win over the Cubs in Wrigley Park, of all places. How about that? You want to talk about the memory of a lifetime? Let's hope for many more of them from the former Coug, as he is just getting started, quite literally. High school lacrosse playoffs in full swing this week as Wando's Jack Shipman sums up all you need to know about their matchup with Lexington in this one sequence. The truck stick like it's Madden 2005 and proceeds to get it to Jack McQuaid for the goal. An 18-4 final to advance. Meanwhile, Bishop England also cruising like it's Top Gun, a 2-2 tie, as close as Myrtle Beach would get in this one, as Michael Long led the way on a 15-1 run to close it out. 17-3 the final there, setting us up for this week's lower state titles. As you take a look at them, they'll take place on Tuesday night, most of them happening here in the Low Country. The four-time defending state champion Wando boys host Dutch Fork, the Oceanside boys. They'll host Greenville, and then Bishop England will go to AC Flora. Then on the girls' side, Wando hosts Chapin, Oceanside hosts Christ Church, and Bishop England hosts Bluffton. All those games, once again, will be on Tuesday. Coming up, our Gem of the Week. It's about showing love to every last person, no matter how long it takes. Stick around. Our Gem of the Week is a hats off. Dwayne Wade calling it a career for the Heat after the season came to an end, but not without taking photos and signing autographs for every single Miami Heat employee this week. Every one of them stayed there as long as it took. What a guy and what a career. I mean, also one of the guys, he signed his wrist, and the guy proceeded to say that he was not going to shower for about 3 days. I don't know if that's a good idea, but still, Dwayne, pretty cool stuff.
And now, OT's The Talker, sponsored by Bojangles.
All right, so what do you need to know going into this week? Well, you know, Dustin Johnson obviously had that tough final round at the Heritage. That'll be a talking point. High school lacrosse taking place on Tuesday of this week. And once again, for the second straight year, a rough outing for the Stingrays in the first round of the ECHL playoffs. So those are some talking points when you get into work on Monday. Also, NBA playoffs. A couple of teams advancing past the first round, a couple of sweeps today, the Boston Celtics, as well as the Golden State Warriors in this one. So I think everybody's going to be pretty preoccupied with that, but obviously the local ties as well. And that is really all the time we have for you here on News 2 Sports Overtime. I'm Logan Reever. Have a great week, everybody.